Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me there at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe. You are all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested for. As you stand before me today, you are considered not guilty of what you've been charged with, and that status will stay with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by you if you plea out to your case or the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you are arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, you are given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pretrial release which will be imposed upon you. I will also determine this morning whether you'd like to represent yourself, whether you'd like the Public Defender's Office, or whether you'll be hiring a private attorney. You are entitled to have an attorney represent you at each stage of these proceedings. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, I can appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you this morning. You are also entitled to make a phone call. If you haven't done so yet, to let friends, family, or your attorney know where you are, please let me know. I'll make sure that happens this morning. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony before the court this morning will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, go ahead and put your hands down. As I call your name, please come forward to the podium. Nicole Marshall. Hi, Ms. Marshall. Can I have your date of birth, please?
9/14/1985.
All right. You are here this morning because you have a case going on in Pinellas County. It's a failure to appear for possession of cocaine. You have a bond on that of $30,013. We're going to keep that at $30,013. If you're unable to bond out for that amount, someone from Pinellas County will be here to pick you up within 5 days, okay?
All right.
Destiny Stevens. Destiny, can I have your date of birth?
11/2/83.
All right. You are here this morning for a violation of probation out of Hernando County, Pinellas County, and Pasco County. I did find probable cause for your arrest. For the Hernando County one, would you like to be a public defender appointed on your case?
Yes, please. I just went to court Friday for the Pasco BOP.
Okay. She's saying that the Pasco one might be taken care of. If that's the case, then still showing it's outstanding, but someone at the jail there will figure that out, or Pasco County will send something to Hernando County indicating that that's taken care of, okay? So for today's purposes, you have an outstanding Hernando County violation of probation. We're going to hold you on no bond on that. We're going to see you in court in front of Judge Toner on January 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. We also have a Pinellas County violation of probation. We're going to hold you on no bond on that one as well. And when you after you take care of Hernando County, Pinellas County will come get you and you can take care of it down there. If you happen to have an outstanding Pasco County one, then you have to take care of that one as well, okay? When you get to Pasco and Pinellas, you can get a court date and an attorney when you get there.
Thank you.
All right. Tayana Vieira. Hi, Ms. Vieira. Can I have your date of birth?
12/17/1980.
Alrighty. You are here this morning for failure to stop at a crash involving injury to another. Looks like perhaps serious bodily injury. The bond on that is currently $5,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Do you already have a public defender representing you on your open case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So I have a defendant in this case?
I'm sorry?
Do I have a defendant in this case?
Do you have a defendant? What do you mean?
Who is it saying I hit?
You are the defendant in this case.
Don't talk about the facts of your case, ma'am.
There are several witnesses, and there is a victim listed in your case. Your attorney can sit down with you, go over the probable cause affidavit and arrest report, and give you all of those names if you'd like, okay? But at this time, it looks like you have an open case, 2017 CF 832. There's probable cause to believe you committed another crime while you were out free on that case. So what we're going to do is RCO you on that case. You're not going to get bond on that case. We'll keep the bond at $5,000 on this case, and we'll set you to come in for both cases on January 2nd at 8:30 a.m., okay?
So I have no bond?
No bond, ma'am.
Judge, what case is she RCO'd on?
7.
Thank you.
It's a criminal mischief in front of me with me. Right.
Damon Bland. Mr. Bland, can I have your date of birth?
11/26/95.
You are here this morning for a failure to appear in front of Judge Merritt on November 28th. He has indicated he wants you held no bond at this time because of your substantial criminal record and that you scored 27 months Department of Correction at the bottom of the guidelines. So what we're going to do is we're going to hold you no bond on the case. We're going to get you back in front of Judge Merritt on January 9th. Do you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll see you back before January 9th at 9 a.m. Brian Carpenter. Mr. Carpenter, can I have your date of birth?
3/14/1990.
Okay, you were here this morning for possession of marijuana, possession of paraphernalia, and knowingly driving while your license is suspended or revoked. The bonds are $1,000 each on those cases. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
I have a public defender.
Okay. State, Super Tyler.
It looks like he has an open violation of probation in front of Judge Hitzman. It's set for 12/21, Your Honor. He also has some minor prior history, a 2010 fleeing to elude and resisting without violence.
Well, when you say an open violation of probation, has he not been arrested on that yet? Or?
I'm not
going to court
sure.
for it.
Okay.
He's been.
I go to court for it. I got to go to court.
Wait, I'm not talking to you, sir. Wait 1 second.
It was a violation of probation, and he's been on Hitzman's docket to show improvement in what he's been doing, and his next court date is 12/21. But this will be, I guess this will close him out for sure.
This is not showing improvement.
No, it's not.
Okey-dokey. What was that charge for, do you know?
It's a multiple count battery, Your Honor.
It was 16 mm 29.99, and the recommendation was 180 days.
Okay, so technically that violation of probation is an open case.
I'm sorry, you did what?
It's considered an open case that we can RCO on, right?
Yes, Your Honor. It would, because he probably was issued a notice to appear. Usually Judge Hitzman would revoke and then issue no bond hold of that.
Okay. And that was 16 mm 2999?
Yes, it was.
Okay. All right, Mr. Carpenter, I have an address for you on Sarasota Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You got kicked out.
What's going to happen is that you have these 3 new charges. I'm going to keep the bond. You're entitled to bond on these cases. I'm going to keep the bonds at $1,000 each on these. But you have that pending case in front of Judge Hitzman. We're going to RCO you on that case. You're not going to be released on that case. You have a violation of probation pending. And we're going to see you back to court on 12/21 at 17 on all of these cases, okay?
Okay.
Still not sure if that's going to work. You guys will let me know if there's a problem.
Sure.
Okay, James Carter. Mr. Carter, can I have your date of birth?
86/84.
All right, you have a violation of probation here in front of Judge Toner. He wants no bond placed on you, so we're going to hold you no bond on that. We're going to get you back to court on January 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, appoint the public defender's office. We'll see you back to court in January.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeremy Coffin. And Mr. Coffin, can I have your date of birth?
8/20/82.
You were here this morning for an attempted robbery. Let's see. It's based on a warrant signed by Judge Merritt on November 27th. And they have no bond because they feel like it might be a violation of parole. But I don't think that's the basis for no bond on this case. So.
Probably isn't.
All right, so tell me about his prior record.
He has extensive history out of New York. He had a 2007 robbery case, which I'm a little confused by how the sentencing reads, but it reads basically 12 years. But it seems like that was some sort of split sentence between some incarceration and some parole. 2004 grand theft, 2004 assault, which would be our version of a battery, 2002 forgery, and 99 DUI.
All right, Mr. Coffin, I have an address for you on Wild Horse Trail in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
3 months.
Okay, where'd you live before that? In Hernando or somewhere else?
Lake City.
Okay. Do you have a job?
No.
Do you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
And set your bond at $50,000. We're going to see you back to court on January 9th at 9 o'clock. And if the state feels that that you should be held without bond, they'll do a pretrial detention order with the judge that you're in front of, okay?
Okay.
Mark Elliott. Mr. Elliott, can I have your date of birth?
11575, ma'am.
All right, you are here today for a burglary and a petty theft. I did find probable cause for both of those. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender, please.
Okay. Want the public defender's office to represent you? It looks like you have an open case as well, 2017 CF 2370, and you're scheduled to go back to court on January 2nd at 1:30. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
1:30.
We have a double docket that day.
This is Mark Elliott. Is that correct?
17 CF 2370.
Yep. That's it.
He had a split docket that day.
Yes.
So is that right, 1:30?
The pre-trials are at 1:30.
All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to RCO you on that case, the 2017 CF 2370, which means you'll be held no bond on that. I'm going to keep the bond on this case at $5,000, $1,000. I've appointed the public defender. We'll see you back on both cases on January 2nd at 1:30, okay? Alan Klingon. Mr. Klingon, can I have your date of birth?
9/10/1987.
Okay, can you spell your last name for me? Got a couple of different spellings.
CLINGAN.
All right. You are here today for possession of methamphetamine, possession of controlled substance, and possession of paraphernalia. The bonds are $2,000, $2,000, and $1,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you, state.
Only prior is a 2009 DUI from Arkansas, which appears to be where he's from.
Okay. Mr. Klingon, I have an address for you on Candlelight Boulevard in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
About 3 years.
All right. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Electrician. I'm an electrician, modern day electric.
I'm going to set your bond for the possession of methamphetamine at $1,000, possession of controlled substance at $1,000, and possession of drug paraphernalia at $500. We're going to see you back to court on January 9th at 9 a.m. Okay?
Thank you.
Joseph Genko. Mr. Genko, can I have your date of birth?
1/14/80.
Okay, you were here today for a violation of probation, so there is probable cause for your arrest. It's based on a warrant from Judge Toner's court. Once you held no bond on that, we're going to keep it no bond. We're going to see you back in court on January 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'll do that. See you back January 2nd. Jesse Hartman.
Sorry, what's that name?
Who's talking?
I thought you said
Mr. Hartman, can I have your date of birth?
August 25th, 1989.
All right, you're here this morning for written threats to kill or injure. You're held no bond because it's domestic in nature. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
Appoint the public defender's office to represent you, state.
Multiple arrests, dealing convictions are a 2014 DUI and a 2014 violation of probation on that DUI.
All right, Mr. Hartman, I have an address for you on Deltona Boulevard in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes.
How long have you lived there?
About a year now, almost.
Okay. Did you live in Hernando County before that?
Yes. I was born in Brooksville.
All right. Do you have a job?
Yep.
What kind of work do you do?
I installed granite.
Okay.
That's great.
Alrighty. All right, I'm going to give you a bond of $5,000 as a condition bond. I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Ms. Malloy wants to file an injunction against you. If she does file an injunction against you, it's very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from her, her home, her school, her car, or anywhere else where that may be frequent. So you want to make sure that you read that carefully. I'm going to order that you have no contact with her in this case. That means do not call her, do not write her, do not email her, and do not have anyone else call her, write her, or email her. Any way that you can imagine having contact with Ms. Malloy, I forbid you from doing so. If you do have contact with her while this case is pending, you'll be charged with another crime and you'll be held without bond until you resolve your cases. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll see you back to court on January 9th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Scott Hodge.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Hodge, can I have your date of birth?
12/29/1979.
You're here this morning charged with trespass. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Do you want the public
Can I
defender?
represent myself and try to resolve this today?
Yes. State.
Offer 30 days stay, Your Honor.
30 days of prior.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah. Is it all trespass?
No.
They're offering 30 days Hernando County Jail. You want to go ahead and do that today?
There's no chance of like a misdemeanor probation, so I don't lose my job.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm doing a masonry job, a mason tender. I just started.
Okay. Well, they're offering 30 days. We'll give you credit for the 2 days that you have in, plus you might get some game time, so you're going to have about 3.5 weeks left to go. Do you want to go ahead and do that? If not, I can appoint the public defender, keep your bond at $500, and see you back to court at another day.
Yeah, I'll take the bond. Maybe I can get bonded out so I don't lose my job.
Maybe. Okay. Set the bond at $500. We'll see, appoint the public defender's office. We'll see you back January 3rd at 9 a.m., okay?
All right.
Leo Johnson. Mr. Johnson, can I have your date of birth?
9/27/71.
You were here this morning because you were arrested on a Hernando County warrant for a burglary battery charge. The bond on that is currently $25,000. So there is probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Do you want the public defender's office?
Public defender.
I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you, state.
multiple trips to prison, Your Honor. It looks like he just got out of prison in February of 2017 after doing a year and a day on multiple counts of driving cocaine. Previously, before that, he had done 4 years, 10 months, and 15 days state prison for a robbery case with a gun, or a home invasion robbery case, Your Honor. Prior to that is another trip to prison, that might be combined with this, for cocaine and other driving while suspended. There's a resisting without violence there. Another felony driving on the suspended, 5 months county there. Another trip to DOC, it looks like, before that. And the record goes all the way back to 1992, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Johnson, I have an address for you on Main Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Do you have a job these days?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to set your bond at $50,000, and we'll see you back to court on January 9th at 9 o'clock, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Alan Conan? Hi, Mr. Conan. Can I have your date of birth?
7/12/63.
All right, you were here this morning for a domestic battery. I did find probable cause for that. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Public Defender's Office.
Okay, state.
Looks like we have some very old out-of-state offenses for DUI and theft. And then I have in 2005 2 listings for failure to appear, but I don't have the underlying charge, so I'm guessing it was a traffic case.
Okay, so nothing in about 12 years.
Most recent thing is 05, Your Honor.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Conan, I have an address for you on Ainsley Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
Almost 3 years now.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm a carpenter, project manager for a consulting company.
Okay. All right, I'm going to set your bond at $50, okay? I'm going to order that you have no contact with Evan Webster. I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock in case he wants to file an injunction with you. When I say have no contact with him, I believe, is he staying at your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if he's there, you can't be there. You need to find someplace else to go if he's still living there, okay? So do not call him, do not write him, do not email him, and do not have anyone else call him, write him, or email him. If you do so, don't have contact with him. There's going to be an argument about that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am, but I don't understand. It's my house. My name's on the lease.
I understand that. I'm ordering you not to have contact with him. If he's at that house, you can't be there. Do you understand that?
But, no, how can that be, ma'am?
Because it's the law, sir. Because you were arrested and you're a defendant and you were arrested for domestic battery for hitting him. That's why. And I'm telling you not to have contact with him. I don't know how any more clear I can be. Are you going to have a problem having contact with Evan Webster? Because if so, we can have you stay right where you are.
No, ma'am, I'm not going to have any problem with that. I need to stay at my house. I have no place to live.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, if he's at your house, you cannot be there. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll see you back to court on January 3rd at 9 a.m. Philip Moriana.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Moran. I'm sorry, you didn't appear in court for me back in August 31st. I put a warrant out for you with a bond of $2,000, and that's why you're there for jail today. Is there a plea offer for him to take care of it?
It looks like, and this is somewhat confusing, that he had a felony case that he resolved, so they had agreed to offer him time served on it. I guess he didn't. And for this makes me wonder if there's an issue with his open felon, or I don't know what he got on his felony case, but the offer some time ago was 2 days time served, so he's now at 4, I would guess.
Mr. Bauer, I believe you represented him. Is that
Yes, I did,
your understanding?
Yes,
Time served.
and I don't know why he didn't show up after resolving the felony.
Okay, so it's just time served.
Mary.
I'm assuming that Ms. Youngbauer will still be on time served.
There might be restitution. It was a tampering with electric services.
That says no restitution on your own.
Yeah, Your Honor, my notes do say that he resolved the felony case and that his offer was credit time served, restitution is 0. The state would still be inclined to offer that.
Okay. Mr. Moran, you want to resolve your case today and get out of jail?
Yes, if I can, please.
Okay. The state's offering time served, which means you get out of jail today, okay? You understand by resolving this case today, you're giving up your right to go to trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Giving up your right to confront witnesses against you, call witnesses on your behalf, and you're giving up your right to have the state prove the case against you. Want to give up those rights in order to take care of this case today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. With regard to this charge of tampering with electric services in 2017 MM1077, how do you plead? Complete no contest.
No contest.
I accept your plea of no contest. I find it's freely and voluntarily entered. Adjudicate you guilty. Sentence you to 2 days, Hernando County Jail, 2 days credit for time served. You'll have fines and court costs, 503. Tampering with electric services equipment. I think it's $503. You'll have the cost of incarceration and the public defender fee all assessed against you, okay? When you get out, you want to make your way down to the clerk's office within the next couple days and make a payment plan for all of those things, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
It's mine.
Brandon Mashburn. Mr. Mashburn, can I have your date of birth?
7/15/1998.
Okay, you're here today for a failure to appear. It looks like you failed to appear in front of Judge Toner on December 8th, and your bond is $10,000. Did you already have the public defender representing you in that case?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. We'll make sure the public defender's still on your case. Keep the bond at $10,000, and we'll see you back to court on January 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, okay? April Maxwell. Ms. Maxwell, can I have your date of birth?
1/16/79.
All right, you're here for a failure to appear in
Yes,
front of
ma'am,
Judge Toner on December 6th. Your bond is currently $10,000.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the public defender representing you already?
Yes, Alexandra. Alexander.
Okay, we'll make sure the public defender's still on your case. You can keep the bond at $10,000. We'll see you back to court January 2nd at 8:30, okay? Brian Southall.
This is a very complex address.
Mr. Southall, can I have your date of birth?
3/30/85.
Okay. Mr. Southall, you're here this morning for a domestic battery. There's no bond on that, and 3 counts of criminal mischief. The bonds are $2,500 and $500. I did find probable cause for your arrest, and it is based on a warrant signed by Judge Hinsman on November 21st of this year. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the public defender's office?
I'll hire somebody now.
Yeah, who you're going to hire?
Yes, ma'am.
Who?
I figured out my family now.
All right, Steve.
I didn't hear what he said, John.
He's going to figure it out with his family and who he's going to hire.
Oh, it's
Do you have a prior record?
yes, he does, Your Honor, and it's not very good. There's 18 months DOC in 2016, so he just recently finished that. There's a resisting without violence and a aggravated battery in 2013 for 24 months state prison. Prior to that, we have a retaliating against witnesses, failure to appear, a burglary. That one's dropped. Another failure to appear. Here's a cocaine possession case in 2011. Looks like it eventually ended up in a prison sentence as well. Here's another one for 1 year and 3 months, 18 days stay in prison for possession of cocaine. That was in 2009. So felony driving on a suspended, another resisting without violence. I saw another prison sentence here. Another driving on a suspended, another resisting. Here's 3 years state prison in 2005 on cocaine possession. The record goes back to 2000. It's pretty consistent. There's a felon in possession of a firearm. Not on that one. Another resisting. Battery on a law enforcement officer. This is a trespass. Battery on a detainee. That takes us back to 03.
Okay.
And prior to that, it's juvenile history on it.
Okay. All right, Mr. South, I have an address for you on Leonard Street in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
All my life, ma'am.
Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am. Construction,
Okay.
ma'am.
Construction? Okay. All right, Ms. Taylor, are you here?
Yeah.
Come on up. You want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to drop the no contact order.
Okay.
I don't want the person to push on me.
Is that all you have to say?
Yeah.
All right, Mr. South, I'm going to set your bond on the domestic battery at $50,000. I'm going to keep all the other bonds the same, $2,500 and $500. I'm not going to drop the no contact at this time. You're going to have no contact with Tiana Taylor whatsoever. Do not call her. Do not write her. Do not email her. Do not have anyone else call her, write her, or email her. Any way that you can imagine having contact with Ms. Taylor, I forbid you from doing so. If she calls you, you should hang up the phone. If you see her out somewhere, you should go the other way. If I find that you had contact with Ms. Taylor while this case is pending, you'll be charged with another crime and you'll be held without bond. Do you understand?
So it can't be.
Yes, ma'am.
The no contact can't be.
Not at this time. I'm not going to do that. You need to talk to the state attorney or the public defender's office, and they'll tell you what you need to do, but I'm not going to do that at this time. We'll see you back to court on January 9th at 9 a.m., okay? Brian's here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. Can I have your date of birth?
7/14/1991.
You are here this morning for a violation of probation. It's based on a warrant signed by Judge Toner on November 14th. Once you held no bond on that warrant, excuse me, I'm going to hold you no bond. We're going to see you back to court on January 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have the public defender's office already, Mr. Chair?
I'm sorry?
Do you have the public defender's office already?
I did on the case.
Do you still want the public
when
defender's office?
Yes, ma'am. I have family there. Are they allowed to speak on my behalf?
Does anyone want to speak on his behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What would you like to say? You can come up.
My name is Samantha Sloan. I am Brian's first fiance. Brian has been making court cases, he's been going to probation, he's been doing everything he possibly can. However, right now we're in a financial difficulty. He is a good large portion of our income. I'm a disabled veteran. We have an 11-month-old daughter. And is there any way that we could at least get a bond on him so that he can come back to work? Because it's to the point where I'm not even going to be able to pay my bills if he stays in.
He's not going to get a bond from me this morning, ma'am. You need to talk to Judge Toner about that and talk to his attorney about that and see what Judge Toner will do. But Judge Toner has set the bond, and I'm not going to change that this morning, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Evan Webster. Mr. Webster, can I have your date of birth?
February 29th, 1996.
Mr. Webster, you are here this morning for domestic battery. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
I'll hire someone.
Okay, who are you going to hire?
I'm not sure. I have to talk to my family.
All right, Steve.
Mr. Webster is our sole participant today with no prior history.
Okay. I have an address for you, Mr. Webster, on Ansley Street in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, but I'll be moving back to my parents.
Where's that?
14218 Cornwall Lane.
I can't hear you. 14218 what?
Cornwall Lane, Spring Hill.
Okay, do you have a job these days?
Yes, too.
Okay, what kind of work?
Asphalt maintenance and paint and body.
Alrighty. Okay, well I had, this is one of those, Alan Conan was here earlier.
Yeah.
And
The one who wanted to go back to his house.
yeah. So, sir, I'm going to have you set your bond at $50, okay? I'm going to order that you have no contact with Alan Conan. He's been ordered not to have contact with you as well, okay?
Okay.
So you guys have no contact with each other. Yes, technically I have to hold till 4, so we're going to do that. If you have any contact with him while this case is pending, then you'll be charged with another crime and you'll be held without bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll see you back to court on January 3rd at 9 o'clock.